So why did the cadaver dogs alert in both the apartment and the McCann's rental car?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you recall, but they had brought out cadaver dogs and they had alerted to both of those areas. And the alert suggested presence of blood and human remains. But then the follow-up tests were inconclusive, or at some point somebody said, well, they were kind of contaminated.
Could
I
be.
just thought, usually when you have these dogs and they're highly trained dogs, not that a dog can't make a mistake, but it hit on both that little flat they were staying in and then hit in the car.
There we go. Wow. We need to do an episode. We need to get a professional trained cadaver dog handler on the show.
Yes.
And I've thought about, again, that's one thing we like doing is we like bringing everybody specific skill sets that people bring, and that's the next one.
We actually know some through our dealings with Miss Sandra Hasty.
That's true.
We've met several cadaver handlers.
Yeah. So we need to do
handlers.
that. So here's what we got to, I think on there is that nothing's absolute. I know that from just my naive impression of it and having your dog Becca is, and dogs I've had, we know that their sense of smell is tremendously larger than ours.
Oh my, yes.
And that we know that you can train dogs specifically to pick up on different things, and we get that. So in this case, I guess what you're looking at is, I guess the probabilities would be they contact that smell. Then I guess you got to ask, is that smell related to Madeleine? Is it can they distinguish between human and animal or other material that decomposes? That would be a question I would have. Like, now I know how they train. They actually use parts of people when they train.
And I agree with that. But what I'm thinking is maybe it was something else. But what are the odds that it was two something elses in both places they had been?
We need to get a cadaver dog trainer. We need to get a handler because I don't know. Here's the thing. It shifted the focus back to them. Right. I mean,
yes.
That would, and okay, so that's reasonable to look at that and say, okay, we have to check this stuff out. I always look at those 10 million questions as to it is critical thinking. When you get that information, what are the vulnerabilities in that information? What is the science in that information? And you always have to look at what the probabilities are of it being inaccurate and accept that as part of the decision what you do with that information.